Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to continue with our reading and we're going to continue practicing the ed sound at the end of a verb, of regular verbs. I have to say you did really good. It's not something that's easy. It's something that takes a lot of practice to make it automatic. So if you didn't do it perfect, that's alright, because it's not like it is something that you can do perfect the first time. You have to practice a lot. That's why we are going to continue practicing that. Okay, so the book that we're going to be reading today is going to be The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Okay, this is not the version that we're reading. We're going to read one of those little books that are very short. Unfortunately, I don't have the books at home, so I cannot show you the book, but I made a little composition with the sound of the book, and then I took the pictures from another book and I put it together, so I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to tell you what the activities are going to be about the book, and then we will continue. So the first thing, we're going to practice some of the difficult words in the book, okay? So the first one is licking his lips. If you remember on the gingerbread man, when the fox fibbed and lied, he was licking his lips because he really wanted to eat the gingerbread man. And many of you read this as licking his lips. Now, it would be licking from the verb like if there were no C. If it was like that, that would be liking. But because it's got two consonants after the I, it's licking his lips. Like he wants to eat something and he's salivating, okay? Another difficult word is bridge, okay? You're gonna see in the book there is a troll that lives under the bridge. So practice that word, bridge. He heard a cranky voice. Cranky is a synonym for angry, okay? And finally, the last expression is he had a sneaky plan, okay? On the book, the big Billy Goat Gruff has a sneaky plan. A plan that it's a secret plan that nobody knows, okay? You just have to make sure on activity number 1 that you practice reading this for expressions before you read the book, so that when you hear it, you understand what it means and you can read it perfectly, okay? Let's go to activity number 2. Now, activity number 2 are comprehension questions, and you just have to put together with an arrow, join the definition. These are the definitions, 5 of them, and you have to join them with the right word on the right with these words. Okay, so I'm going to read them and let's see which one goes with which. All right, so the first one, the sound objects make when falling in the water. Does that go with delicious, with sweet green grass, with splash, with to cross or to go across, or with to ram? And the past of to ram is rammed. The second one, to hit someone or something really hard. Which one goes with that definition? The third one, the favorite food of 3 Billy Goats Gruff. Which one is their favorite food? A synonym for yummy. Yummy. Which one goes with that? And finally, to go from one side to the other side of the bridge, what you do is one of these options, okay? So this activity number 2, you have to do it. You can do it in your notebook. You can copy the definition and the word that it goes with and join it together with arrows, or you can do it, copy it from the description of the video, and you can copy it on your email, or you can copy it on a Word document and you can send it to me on the computer. Okay. Another thing that I want you to pay close attention is to how I read the different characters. Okay, there is going to be 4 characters in this book. We have the troll, we have the 3 Billy goats, little Billy, middle Billy, and big Billy. Okay, now you may ask yourself, and what does gruff mean? Billy Goats Gruff. Well, Gruff is just their last name. Okay, is little Billy Gruff. Okay, that's his last name. Middle Billy Gruff and big Billy Gruff. And you're going to see how I change my voice because each one of them is bigger than the other. So the bigger the Billy Goat is, the stronger my voice is when I read their dialogue. And also pay attention to the kind of voice that I use when I'm reading the troll part. Okay, remember that he has a cranky voice. He is very angry. Okay, so when we're reading, we have to try to emphasize the characters, okay, and the characters are different from each other. All right, so now I'm going to show you activity number 3, which you also have to send me from your notebook or copying it from the computer, from the description of the video. So this is activity number 3. Write these verbs under the right column, depending on how the final ed sounds. Okay, so we have, I tell you there's 2 verbs that sound like it. The end of the verb, the ed, sounds like id. There's 2 of those. There's 2 where the ed sounds as t, 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 as a t, t. And finally there's 5 verbs that the ed sounds as d, d, as a d. Okay, then I also copied for you. You just have to copy this, the irregular verbs that appear in the story. Where, from the verb to be. Heard, from the verb to hear. Said, from the verb to say. Had, from the verb to have. And fell, from the verb to fall. Okay, so I'm going to read them, and then as you listen to them, you need to think, where do they go? Do they go on the column where the verb sound is id, or t, or d? All right, so pay attention. Lived, lived. Does it sound like id? Does it sound like t? Does it sound like d? Lived. Decided, decided. Started, started. Yelled, yelled. Cried, cried. Crossed, crossed. Climbed, climbed. Rammed, rammed. And the last one, liked, liked. So I'm going to read them again so that you can see how I articulate the sounds, and that might help you to figure out if you put it on the first column, ed sounds as id, or the second columns, ed sounds as t, or the third column, ed sounds as d. Okay, so look at my mouth, look how I say them, and this might help you a little bit. Okay, it's always important to look at people in the face, and actually, if you want to find out how to say something perfectly, it's a good idea to look how they articulate, how they put their mouth, their tongue, their teeth, their lips, everything. Okay, so I read all the verbs again. Lived, lived. Decided, decided. started, started, yelled, yelled, cried, cried, crossed, crossed, climbed, climbed, rammed, rammed, liked, liked. And those are the activities for today. Now, what do you have to send to me? You only have to send me a photograph of activities number 2 and 3. Okay? Nothing else. I'm not asking you to read the book this week. I am just, of course, I am asking you to read the book and practice it and read it many times and listen to it many times, but I'm not asking you to record yourself. Okay, so you only have to send me a photograph of your notebook with activities 2 and 3, or you can also send me, if you copy it from the description of the book on your email, or you want to do it on the computer on a Word document, you can also do that. Okay, so I hope you like this book, and I'll see you in a short time. Okay, bye guys, have a good week.